Another episode. The host here, Haize, joined by the one and only Baylor The Great's in the building. What's going on, Baylor?
West, y'all.
Hey, man, we got some shit to get into today, man. First up on the docket, Latto is coming out with a Put It On The Floor remix with Cardi B. Now, this isn't typically the type of music we do a deep dive into, but with it being probably is going to be a summer anthem, this is about to be the song that we hear for the next couple of months every single day, ain't it?
Yeah, and I feel like they're gonna definitely force us to try to like it. I didn't really care for the original, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we haven't heard, but it's just me though. We haven't heard much from Cardi like that
Yeah.
consistently, and I ain't gonna even lie to you, I really don't even care.
I mean, last thing that we kind of heard, it was rumored, is that Cardi was actually finally working on her second album. So I don't know if that's why she's been quiet, because usually Cardi's good for coming out with a new single every 2-3 months, and really has not been that the last year or so. But I do think that, that maybe to use this song as maybe a launching off point, but they definitely finna hit us over the head with that, man. And the thing that I have, and I don't mean to sound like the negative Nancy, because she has her fan base, she's killing it right now. But like, I feel like Latto could actually rap. And I feel like she's fallen into the same trap that we said at one point Megan fell into, because I feel like Latto can rap if she wanted to rap.
Yeah, she I mean, look, it ain't even a secret ingredient anymore. It's like the ingredient that you attach it to TikTok and every other social media platform, and sex sells. So
Yeah.
as long as you keep making a vagina rap, then it's like, it may not be like a hit overall with everybody, but it's not for everybody at the end of the day, because I don't really care for it, And I know, and it does sound like it's going to be an anthem, but I think it's going to be some other songs out there that they're going to have that's going to probably push that one out of the way. But the video is going to do numbers. We know that for sure.
Oh, the video is gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already know that. That goes without saying. The video is really about to do numbers. I mean, and I will say this: I like I guess you could call it creative. I guess it wasn't, but like even the way she announced the song was kind of cool. Like just saying it was a remix, and then I don't get what they were trying to get at with tearing the bag off Cardi B face, but they could have just moved the camera over and had Cardi B there. That little bit was extra, but I know.
Oh well,
people are gonna go crazy.
I mean, they've been pushing the whole "I'm acting new, so take me out the plastic." You know what I mean?
That's true. True.
Yeah, so
true.
that I see them trying to push that, and I don't. I'm. It'll be. I ain't gonna say it'd be interesting, because I see Cardi, as much as I see her, I don't hear her rapping, so you can't really tell what's a rollout or not, because she's been in the tabloids lately, but it's just been for her and Offset and just random stuff. So
Yeah.
who knows. I'm starting to. I ain't gonna say I'm rethinking my pick between her and the Barbie, but shit, as of right now, I don't really care for neither, to tell you.
Bro, I don't care for it. Like it's so crazy, because we talked at one point in time. It felt like what was like 2 years ago at this point. Like we were talking about like how the women were bringing rap back. The women were carrying rap in a certain way, and it's like, and it just slowly has died off to the point to where it's like I don't care about none of these motherfuckers no more, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
men or women for that matter. It's not just the women, but it's just in general, bro. I just don't care about these motherfuckers.
It's like, because it's like they getting a bag though. It's just they getting a bag from entertainment outside of what we know them for initially. You know what I mean? So it's like it's too much of it. Like it's like having too much candy. Eventually you're gonna get sick. You don't want it. Too much alcohol. I don't feel like drinking anymore. Like it's just too much.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. I know the song's probably gonna blow up, and it's probably gonna be a new TikTok trend and dance, and they're gonna do all the modern day things.
But let me say this, because I know the women's gonna, we know how they can get if it's too much on them. Trust me, I don't like listening to too much cocaine rap either. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what
I don't want to keep listening about selling drugs and doing drugs, especially in this generation.
Especially from Pusha T too at this point. I don't want to hear no more.
Shout out Pusha, but I put the line away, baby.
Yeah, shout out to Pusha for making a 20-year career, probably longer than that on cocaine raps. But I'm over it, bro. Like just give me the lyricism, leave the cocaine aside, bro.
Yeah,
that's where it comes. But all right, moving on from that, bro. I don't know how much you got to see this, but Jamie Foxx, like it first, it's been so up and down. And right, first we heard he wasn't okay. Then his daughter was like, no, he's actually on vacation. Then it turns out he was still in the hospital. Now we're hearing that he is paralyzed and partially blind after COVID-19 vaccination.
I'm gonna just leave it alone because at this point it's too many rumors. But the rumors are is painful. You know what I mean? So it's like I can understand the daughter coming out and trying to kill some of the noise, whether it's the truth or not. But at the end of the day, I think you said it best. Like people, they run to the internet so fast to kill people off. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't. I'm just I leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna say that I'm that person, but I am that person. I want to say I do want to give my respects. But now it's just like I'll just wait to give my respect if it's a situation like that. I'm not running to the internet first. Even when I found out about Tina Turner, like I had to go through I had to continue to go down my timeline and multiple timelines and say, "Oh, this really happened." You know what I mean? So, you can't really just trust one source. And in this case, don't trust anybody. Just wait until something official comes out.
Yeah, I mean
I mean, prayers up and go and continue to watch his show. Cause that two series lineup is undefeated between the Wayans brothers and the Jamie Foxx show. Undefeated.
It was different, wasn't it? It was different.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was definitely different. That was such an era too, bro. Like I still remember, like that was a time where you would sit with your family, bro, and just watch stuff. Like the only time before then, so me and my family used to all sit down and watch Martin together, and then it was that 1-2 punch, and also briefly, I mean, it was more, I guess, me and my sisters and me and my whole family. Like, of course, when you sit down and watch Full House and stuff together, and that stretch of shows, but it was Jamie Foxx and the Wayans brothers. They had that was just a great period of television there, bro.
And even 20, 30 years later, they still had those three shows in rotation because they read the room when it came to entertainment. You know what I'm saying? My daughter at 3 was watching Martin at 12 a.m. giggling, not knowing what the jokes is, but just laughing along. So yeah, and Jamie Foxx is definitely a part of that.
Yeah, for sure. Well wishes to Jamie Foxx, whatever's going on. If whatever it is, let's just hope Jamie Foxx gets a speedy recovery, man, and gets back, just to being able to live his regular life. Movies, though, all that stuff that'll come in time. But let's just hope he can get back to living his life, man. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on for that to music. Conway the Machine is apparently linking up with Justice League for his album, his new album. How do you feel about that sound? Like I'll tell you what, sonically. I can't picture it, but it doesn't mean that I think it's going to be bad. It's just that's not a combination that I thought I would have heard personally.
Well, here's why I'm here for it, because Hit Boy and Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm tired of hearing the same. I know what you could bring lyrically. This is what we've been saying about Nas. Just go get some different production.
Yeah.
And see if because the challenge is, that's why I respect that Hit Boy song where he went at those other producers. Because can you flip it up? Can you switch it up? Can you not use a sample?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can you take the boom back out? What can you do that complements this artist? Can you elevate this artist? That's why we look at the Pharrells of the world, because even though Neptunes had their own sound, they still catered it, or they either made something new for that artist, or they catered around that artist style. Shout out to Snoop. Shout out to what you call it? I can't Noriega.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they said themselves they didn't understand it until everything was put together. You just had to trust the process. So I guess that's what we're gonna have to do with this one, is just trust it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Conway is on a path that I think we've all talked about it and know what Kanye means, and can be in this rap game. And I am glad that he is working with a different producer, and even looking at some of the collaborations he's going to have on it with Rick Ross, Drake, Mary J. Blige, Jeezy, Nas, Lil. Like, it's going to be dope. It's going to be, I have no doubts it's going to be dope. And while I say I can't sonically picture what it's going to sound like, that's almost a good place to be. And that's what I said. I don't mean it as a negative at all, because we live in an era of cookie cut music. The choruses all sound the same. The beats all sound the same. Everything sounds so similar that I'm glad that I, for once, I don't know what this is going to sound like going into. I don't know, and I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
Yeah, For sure, for sure. When you think about this whole period of like Griselda and how them releasing their separate albums, things like that, like, do you think that it's gotten to the point, because we saw it happen? Well, they never really got off with Black Tribute, but like, do you think that Griselda as a group maybe not done, but do you think you put that back? Can you get them all back in the lab together to come out with another group album, or do you think it's just going to be another series of individual albums with some collabs on those albums?
I mean, this is like, I can't say this is like the 90s, even though we had some groups that stayed together for a time period where they gave us multiple classics.
Yeah.
And it's unfair to compare them to the Locks, right? Because that was just special. But it just seems like if this group was in the 90s, that even if they felt like they needed to go their separate ways as far as making their own product, um, someone would be there, a Puff would be there, or somebody else would be there to say, nah, trust me, y'all stay together, it's gonna work. Y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying, at least give us 3, maybe 4. I don't know the relationship between them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but in today's world, everybody's going their own lane, everybody's building their own lane, you know what I mean? So hopefully they can always keep that respect, and there isn't a sense of jealousy or anything like that, and take from the Locks book, like, yo, it didn't matter if this person was getting a lot of love, or this, go do what you got to do, we come back together when we need to.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. I think too, when you look at it, like, the Griselda as a group is always going to be something that people look forward to, no matter how, like, I just, because I love it when artists kind of go out and do their own thing and they grow as individual artists, and then they can still come back and that growth can be now depicted as a group again. And I think at some point we'll get it, whether it's, like I said, an EP, something, a mixtape, we'll get something at some point. But this current wave that they're on, I would like to see them continue. And I wouldn't say, honestly, I need to hear more from West Side Gun. Like, he's the one that I want to hear more from.
Yeah, and you might as well stick together, because the climate around hip hop right now, there's nobody that really holds the throne. It's not. It's just I mean, we gonna talk about the normal cats, who we will talk about one of them later on. You're gonna have the Drakes, the Kendrick, and the Coles holding the crown, but nobody is actually controlling the throne like that. Nobody. So y'all might as well go and try to create some history together.
Yeah, that's a fact. Big facts there. All right, man, let's move in. We got some new songs to talk about, man. I wanted to put this one on the album, on the list first, that we're going to talk about, because I feel like this is a nice attempt at a summer track, but I wanted to hear how you felt it was executed, especially because it involves artists from your side, and that is Reason and J-Rock, At It Again, the remix, bro. How'd you feel about this track?
Well, it was good to hear J-Rock's voice again.
Yeah, true.
Now, and I know I did this last episode, and I don't want to make this a habit, but when I hear something, I hear it. It sounded this sounded like K Dot wrote the whole thing for him and King. It didn't.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit like
I'm just saying, like, the ad libs and stuff like that. It definitely sounded like a K Dot and King track, which we're about to get
into.
Yeah. So I liked it. I played it once and I'm like, all right, this is cool. But then I kept playing it and I'm like, all right, this is solid. We're about to get that same treatment with Latto. So the more and more you play this, I think I'm gonna end up liking it a lot more.
We were very high on Reason's first album, and while he's dropped some very good music, very good tracks, he hasn't seemed like he's crossed over mainstream like we thought. I think we both had him kind of as maybe being the next big artist from TDE. What do you think is holding Reason back?
Man, it's that roster though.
It's the roster overall.
It's the roster overall. Like, he in there with some dogs, and it's like, when you are a part of a label where K Dot is going to finish, when this planet is over and done, he's going to be up there, whether people like him or not. He's going to be up there. So to be a part of a roster like that, that's like you being like a Lamar Odom on the Lakers team. Yeah, but they got Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? So, and they got other artists that's doing a thing right now. So you got to be unique. That's why we don't talk about Ab-Soul like he's regular. You know what I mean? Because we know he gonna go away and he gonna come back. But we know who he is. He is better than majority of these cats in the game right now. It's just that he's not the mainstream type of cat. You know what I mean? But he's dangerous, and we talk about the likes of J-Rock and things like that. So, and Cass is fiending for Schoolboy.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a
Yeah.
that is a dangerous roster. Did we bring up SZA?
That's what I'm saying, sir.
And she is. Let's not go there. Let's keep it professional. We
Yeah.
know what she doing right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, man, it's difficult. Like you have to find a lane to, and you got to roll with it. Maybe that the last time he was in the tabloids, I don't know if it hurt his image like that.
Who? Reason?
Reason.
What was he in the tabloids for?
You remember that video?
That wasn't Reason.
That wasn't Reason. Who's
No,
that?
that was Isaiah Rashad.
Isaiah, my bad.
Yeah,
I did.
Isaiah
I be
Rashad.
mixing up the. Didn't they have a track together?
Yeah, they got a couple of tracks together.
Yeah. All right, my bad. My bad.
Yeah.
Reason. My bad.
But
But
that's why I was like, wait a second, wait, what?
I be getting them mixed up. I be getting like War
But
Machine.
I mean, that may be that to your point, right? The thing that I love TD and they have a great roster. You just went through it. I love their whole roster. But the thing that I worry about is that do people just lump them all in together, right? Or people fiend for K-Dot, but K-Dot's now off TD, so that's the thing. And Schoolboy Q and Black Hippie, like those three, Black Hippie in general, like I think that they're separated a little bit. But everybody else on that roster, do people start just kind of meshing together? And that's the question that I have because
I think Schoolboy was dope enough to separate himself from K-Dot.
oh yeah, true. And I also think that Schoolboy Q made the point to also separate himself because if you notice, Schoolboy Q's first couple of singles felt very different than anything Kendrick would drop, and I think that was intentional to kind of make sure that it put him in a different lane.
Yeah, and he said himself, like, man, all these beats that K-Dot be throwing away, they give them to me.
Yeah,
and he got a sound. Yo, a lot of people don't talk about this, but your cadence, your voice sometimes is your talent.
it's the instrument. That is your instrument. Yeah,
Yeah, and so you like cats love how Schoolboy sounds in general.
Yeah.
I ain't taking anything away from Reason, but he has one of those default voices.
That's a fact.
So you
That's
gotta
a good point.
he gotta figure out something. Maybe you gotta do the videos, even though we know videos isn't as big as they used to be. You gotta create you gotta create your own lane. Absol he got the voice and he just got that. He has a image of he just like
came out the cave. Like that's literally every time he just came out the cave.
Yeah. So it's like, and then you'll see him at a random event with shades on. I mean, we all know he got the eye condition, but it's like he just when you see Absol, it's like, damn, man, you still here.
Yeah. It's crazy. Absol goes away and he comes back, man. But yeah, I mean, hey, get back on track with the whole Reason thing and everything. Like, I hope that now because there's going to be a huge void in TDE, right? Even though Kendrick dropped every 3-4 years, there's going to be a big void. And I do think that, I'm not saying that Reason can fill it by himself. I would never say that. Nobody can fill the void Kendrick leaves. But I hope in that void, they start getting like a little bit more individuality back in that with those lesser artists or less known artists, I guess I should say. And Reason to me has all the talent in the world, man. All the talent in the world. And I hope that he steps up a little bit more for sure.
And we got to realize this: when you think of that, when you think of that roster, though, that label, that's a very unique label.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Very unique sounds come from that label, so you really got to be a part of that fan base to like that roster. This is not shiny suit roster. No shots, but it ain't no gimmicks when it come to these cats. Absol will really disappear on your ass. We haven't heard from Schoolboy since what you call
Crash
it
Talk came out.
Yeah. Once what you call it passed away, that hit him hard.
Yeah. That's true. That's absolutely true. So yeah, man. I mean, I guess we'll see. But moving off of that, the next song that we got up, Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem, man, the Hillbillies. How'd you feel about this track, bro?
They just look like they just having fun for no reason,
bro.
That's it. Like
that's exactly like literally. It's like and what they're cousins for real, right? Like they're actually related, and it really does feel like they just was just like, hey man, hey bring a 12 or a case of beer. We're gonna kick it in the studio today. I got the weed.
And
We just
just
gonna
give
kick it
him
in the
some.
studio. Yeah,
This song, look, I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to hype it or anything like that. The song is whatever, but the video to the song, it just it just goes like it's
yeah,
just like K Dot was like, you want to do something crazy today, and just give it to him.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean. I don't know what to say.
And you don't get that vibe from a lot of music nowadays. Like, yeah, I mean, vibe music is a thing where people want to create this vibe. But like, as far as like, just you can feel the chemistry through the video, through the song. Like, this is just a song you put on, and you can tell these two motherfuckers just had fun, bro. They just had fun going back and forth. And so, yeah, I actually I didn't even hear this. The only reason I heard the song is because I was listening to the Reason and J-Rock track. I think it was like my third time listening, and I finally let it go through. And the next song that came up was this one. I was like, hey, this is not a bad 1-2 punch at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not, and it's fun, like I said. But I would, you gotta watch the video. Like
Yeah.
they just be doing shit, man.
Yeah.
It amazes me that they haven't ran into like our future. You know what I mean?
For
Because it's
sure.
like I want to see that mashup right there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh man. But hey, dope track there. Baylor, do you want to talk about the Power finale? Or you want to wait to talk about that with the team?
Yeah, that might be unfair to talk about it without them.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, we're on it.
But Mary had a phenomenal take that she put in a group chat that
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, and I want her to elaborate on that because I have obviously I got my pointers too.
That's fair. That's
But
fair.
I will say this. All right, writers, y'all getting a little too out of control. Okay. And I'm talking about with Tyree, like, come on now. You know, because in the beginning, if y'all go back through the Power universe, we talked about like, yo, how come every time these cats end up at the gravesite, y'all know where they at? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are y'all at in the city to pop up on them like that and be recording them or something like that? But now it's like, it's cute how y'all keep finding ways to prolong this series, but it's like this dude ain't really. Come on now.
well, this is where it does become a negative that they created everything into his own spinoffs, right? And that's one thing that I do like, that the original Tate spinoff, I don't even know if they're still planning in that, but or they just rolled that storyline into this book, because like that would be such a major part of this story that would be gone if you did have a spinoff, right? Because that's originally what Tate was supposed to be. I can't remember the name of it. And I do think that now having like Tommy outside of it, because you could see a clear path on where these two shows could go into each other and where that would go. And I don't want to get into Mary's theory too much, but it's just, I feel like they have to extend it, and you start feeling the drag out in certain areas just by some of your stronger characters, instead of being in this show, having their own show.
Yeah, I don't want the drag out, but I will say this: I ain't gonna say if. I know y'all listening. I would want, if they was to bring the Tate series into play, I would want the back and forth. I would want the past and the present for his particular show. Only reason is because from his character, and his character is well developed. We know who he is at this point. I feel like the earlier version of him was more filthier and dirtier than where he is at now. And that's what I want, but I don't want them to go all the way back, and I don't want this to be a Kanan type of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I want you to jump time, not necessarily timelines. Timelines of his, his character, and that'll keep me interested, because drama political shows, it's an acquired dessert for us.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the Tate thing can be interesting. I do think that they've built it up to where it is now, that once he does win or whatever, maybe that'd be when they spin him off. But like you said, he's definitely honestly, Tate could be the Phil Coulson of the Power universe. He can go through all the shows in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that is true. So
we'll see with that, man. But
they obviously would have to stay in New York, though, right?
That's true. It would have to stay in New York. So I guess he wouldn't be going out to Chicago with Tommy. But man, you got anything for us? Usually we end on your segment. You got anything for us before we go, Baylor?
Absolutely, I absolutely do. Today I went to the doctor after about 2 weeks ago. I went to the doctor, and I've been having high blood pressure for a minute now. And so when I went today, my numbers came down to basically normal. I was like
That's what's up.
121 over 75. Prior to that, the nurse told me, they was like, man, I don't know, I'm not sure how you do it. I don't even know if you believe in, whatever you believe in, but you like a ticking time bomb. And
That's
I was like,
crazy.
and it scared me because they was like, you're so young to be going through this, and you're so young for this and that and this and that. And I told them, I was like, you know what? The number one thing that scared me is that there were people 5, almost 10 years younger than me passing away this year or last year from heart attacks.
Yeah.
So I say that to say this: no matter how old you are, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Everything else can wait, because when you have to wake up in the morning and turn your alarm off to take your medication, you're not going the right way. So the goal is to get you off or prevent from getting on medication. Hey, I know a lot of people don't like running. Go swimming. That's a full body workout. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a great point.
Give yourself at least 30 minutes a day. Trust me, your family will appreciate it. Your body will appreciate it. Your peace, your inner peace will appreciate it.
Those powerful words. I didn't expect you to get that damn deep, Baylor, but I'm glad you're good, bro. Like
Hey,
that's
hey, hey, man, when I've had multiple doctors and nurses tell me, I I don't even see why you still here, I
That's
gotta share.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, we're glad you're here, brother. And you need it. And that was a message that I think a lot of people needed. Black men, go to the damn doctor.
Go to
Like
the doctor.
we gotta go to the doctor, bro.
Go to
Like
the doctor, man.
that's really just what it boils down to. Go to the damn doctor.
And I gotta stay alive. I gotta make this merch, baby. Hey.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But man, that's it, man. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Breaks Radio. Make sure you guys follow us at The Breaks Radio. But Baylor, go ahead and give me your social media before we get up out of here.
At Baylorism on Twitter, at Baylorism on TikTok, at Baylor the Great on IG. And that's it. Open Run with BTG. BTG for president, part of the Rare Science Network. Shout out.
Absolutely. You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEO Haize. Follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. TheBreaksRadio at gmail.com. We are the #1 spot for everything hip hop and black culture related. We up out here. Peace, y'all.
Peace.